All right, so moving on to question number three. I get this a lot from gen ed teachers that especially don't necessarily have the time to go through their IEP at a glances or are looking for more ways to help students. So, what this question is what accommodations help students with specific learning disabilities in the classroom? Um, I would say the answer to this question is it depends on the student. There can't be a one size fits all, as we discussed in previous misconceptions. That it's not just dyslexia, so it's not cookie cutter reading type thing. So if I have a kid that is under SLD but might struggle in math, things like calculators, graphic organizers still are applicable, but those types of things are more relevant to um, text to speech. Like I said, if they're reading at a college level. So um, there is a lot of different ways. There's no one size fits all. And I think the other piece of this is the kids need to be um, comfortable with what they're using. So if they don't have they're not comfortable using something, there's no reason, or they're not willing to use something, there's no reason to try to keep having them do it. It's probably time to explore different options, things that are going to work for them. Um, so I guess I kind of want to jump into this case study because I thought it was really good. Um, so this was kind of to piggyback off that point. All right, as this loads up here. Um, Oh, so it's not going to let me in right away. That's all right. I'll just kind of go through. So basically, this person did a study on special education and how it relates to different accommodations and the effectiveness of those accommodations. Um, the researcher tried two different things. One was a C pen, and the other thing was like digital books for reading. So this specific student, the needs were reading based and processing based. So C pen was introduced for the processing based, digital books for the reading. So throughout the study, she ran the study. She found the student achieved at a higher rate when they're given access to those accommodations. Additionally, the student didn't like using the books, so they backed off of that, but they found a lot of success with the C pen. Um, so the teacher allowed the student to just use the C pen and then looked for alternatives surrounding the digital books as it wasn't a fit for the student. Here's the C pen. Um, Come on, computer's being slow today. So the C pen is really it's a just an actual physical pen that students will write with, and they push a button to record the lecture. It's smart enough to pick up different voices and like highlight certain voices, so it's not picking up everything in the room. At least the new one. In addition, students it tracks their hand, so it can match up what they're writing with the time stamp that they should be listening to it in order with. So that was just an example of something that worked for a student, specifically this student. If I'm thinking about my case study student, CPEN might be something I consider, right? Processing and reading difficulties. As far as that text to speech graphic books, that is something I would try with that student. Um, like I said, if they don't want to use it, can't make them. Additionally, we looked at another um, research article in here. So this one was really cool. It's really long, so I'm not going to make everyone go through it. If you skip down to the end where they found the results, it's pretty interesting. The data sets are pretty interesting as well. So within this article, it showed the effectiveness of replacing like human-based accommodations with technology-based, based on the needs of the students. So all these students had reading-based SLD needs. So what the author compared was like, say, a human reader compared to speech to text, text to speech. So when they did that, there's two kind of big findings. So they did 11 different tests of it. Seven of them, they found that actually the digital technology was significantly improved the students' results. So that's good on two fronts, right? The technology is working. It's probably something we should use based off that data. Additionally, like the manpower needed or person power needed with a reader compared to spending a little bit of time front loading those, using those different tools and teaching how to use those different tools over time is a lot more time and human efficient. So that's really cool. So considering the use of technology within these accommodations that are specific to the student is really important. If we don't do that, it's it's kind of a waste of time. I saw one is like a do's and don'ts list. I think the interesting thing with that is um, just to make sure they fit the needs. Like, right, we don't need to put in extra things that aren't in there. All right, and that is question 3.